Massachusetts Senator Eric Lesser joining us on NESN, giving us a few moments in a very busy time. Senator, lots of progress over the last couple of days. How did you guys get from about 20 bills down to 2 bills?
Well, that's the sausage making, right, in the legislature. But really, it's a process of just talking to your colleagues, doing the hearings, getting to hear from all the different stakeholders, and really trying to do your best to really get at the core principles of what you'd like to see in any potential proposal, and then trying to put something out that you hope is going to pass. So that's the process. It's a lot of conversations, it's a lot of teamwork, a lot of coordination with people with some very different points of view for sure.
How confident are you that your fellow senators will help get this to the governor's desk?
Well, I think people are ready to do this if it's done the right way. If you've got the protections in place. Look, sports betting is fun. The vast majority of people are doing this to pass time, to engage with their favorite teams, to hang out with their buddies. But it is at the end of the day a gambling product, and we do need to remember that. And we have a lot of senators that are concerned about that and want to make sure that people who might have an addiction, people who might fall prey to, bad activity are protected. So we're going to make sure that any bill that moves forward, has a lot of consumer protections in place and really sets a high standard for the, quality of play.
I would never, ever speak for you, but I imagine it's been tough to see all that money leave the state for New Hampshire, Rhode Island, Connecticut in September. I can't imagine that's been easy.
Well, it's good. It's great that you bring this up because, of course, we don't want to see those dollars move out of state. At this point, almost all of our neighbors have legal sports betting. New Hampshire and Rhode Island have been up and running for a while. Connecticut and New York are going to be imminent in terms of the online components. But I think what's important for people to appreciate here is a lot of numbers get thrown around in sports betting. The overall amount being bet, the overall handle is very, very high. But sports betting is almost a kind of commoditized, low margin business. And so the actual tax revenue that's expected to be collected here is really a small fraction of the overall market. Not chump change by any stretch of the imagination, but to just give you a sense of this, the governor has estimated about $35 million in new revenue to the state from taxing sports betting. It's obviously better than nothing, but that is a small amount of what is a more than $40 billion state budget. The sales tax, the income tax alone, and regular kind of resort style casino gambling is taking in 10 times that. So it's important that we get it right. I think it's more important that we have a product that protects sports, that protects fans, that's high quality. That's more important, I think, than rushing to try to get as much money in the door as possible.
You mentioned rushing, so naturally I transition into a timeline, which at this point is impossible. But what's realistic? If this gets through sometime this calendar year, whether it's July, August, whenever, what is a realistic launch date here in the Commonwealth?
I certainly hope this calendar year. I think we're ready. Look, I mean, it's been 3 years since the Supreme Court allowed states to move forward on sports betting. Since then, you went from 2 states, New Jersey and Nevada, that had legal sports betting markets to 30. And again, almost all of our neighbors and almost all the states in the Northeast now have it. So it's time. It's time for Massachusetts to do this. The House is going this week. The Senate will may or may not take something up in the near future. The governor, of course, has to weigh in. He has a chance to potentially veto a bill or sign a bill into law. So we have a lot of steps left, but I think absolutely we should really hope and aim to get this going by the end of the calendar year.
He is Senator Eric Lesser. Thank you, sir. I know you're busy. We appreciate your time here on NESN.
Hey, thanks for having me.